Welcome to Missology's Beauty Talks. And today we're here with a Miss Universe Finland. Hi, Matilda. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, Miss Sociology. My name is Matilda Virtavuori. I am 24 years old and I represent Finland at the 73rd Miss Universe. I hold a Master of Science in Business, but I'm also a passionate performer in singing, dancing, and modeling, and I hope to bring back home the third crown for Miss Universe to Finland.
Okay. So, can you please describe yourself in three words?
I would say determined, passionate, and compassionate.
Okay. And what is something that I would be surprised to learn about you?
You would be surprised to learn is that I know how to make lace. I actually learned this at a pageant 1 year ago at a city that is known for making lace. And I quickly picked up the skill and I took part in a lace making competition and I placed third already. And I plan on going there again next year to take home the first place.
Okay. And how's your preparation for the pageant this year? And if you can please describe your national costume or your gown, not disclosing a lot of details.
Well, I started preparing for Miss Universe already 3 years ago, as this has been a very long dream for me to represent Finland at Miss Universe. So I've been preparing and training for these past 3 years, practicing my passerella and my Q&A skills. And now, since crowned on 14th of September, we've been gathering my wardrobe and polishing up these skills to be up to par for Miss Universe.
Is your gown sparkly?
My two gowns are both sparkly. For my
Mm,
finals evening gown, it is to showcase Finnish elegance, I will say.
okay.
And my national costume as well is it's an ode to a legacy and a long line of strong Finnish women.
Okay. And there's so many candidates for this year's competition. I believe it's like 130.
Mm.
What do you think is your strategy to be seen?
I think already my look is something that will make me seen, having a blonde bob. I think I'm the only candidate to have this type of hair, so that already should make me stand out to some extent, but also representing Finland and embracing my Finnish qualities. We are a very sophisticated and educated country and people, and we value simplicity and we embrace even the quiet moments, and we can be quietly confident. So that is how I will plan to stand out. And also, I have a master's degree in business, and that gives me expertise in business and leadership. And I plan to make these seen at the competition.
Okay. We'll go now to the lighter side of this interview.
Okay.
All you need to do is just to choose this or that.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Savory or sweet?
I have a big sweet tooth, so sweet.
What's your favorite chocolate?
White chocolate.
White chocolate.
Yes.
Okay, swimsuit or gown?
Difficult to choose, but gown.
Lights on or lights
Lights on.
off? Love or crown?
Crown first, then love.
Okay, or both.
Both.
The one who loves you or the one you love?
The one I love.
Hmm. Handsome but not so brainy or brainy but not so handsome?
Brainy, but not so handsome because it's very handsome to be brainy.
Yes, that's very true.
Mm.
And you can always do plastic surgery. Okay, this is the most serious part of this interview. This is called the question and answer portion. It's a practice for your Miss Universe journey. So if you can answer it within 30 seconds time. Okay, are we ready?
We are ready.
Number one, do you think happiness can be measured or quantified?
To some extent, happiness can be quantified and measured, and actually, Finland has been measured to be the happiest country in the world for 7 times in a row now. And that is an ode to our stability, safety, and the dedication we put into quality education and healthcare. And these things add up to happiness in Finland.
Next question. Are trans women women?
I think I hold no place to say who can identify as what. And I think it's important that if this does not apply to you, if this does not affect your life in any way, then you should not say your opinion to it. I think it's incredible, and I think it's a positive thing that trans women compete at Miss Universe as well.
Okay. Number three. Should pageantry promotes diversity?
I think pageantry should promote diversity because these competitions represent women and all people globally. And I think it's important to show representation of all kinds of humans on this planet, whether that be race or body type or hairstyle or background. It's important to show representation to everybody in this world.
Okay. Next question. How can you differentiate a good and a bad person?
A good person is somebody who acts from a place of love and always has great intentions and always aims to leave things better than how they were when they encountered them. That is how we differentiate good people.
Okay. It's nice. And the last question. It's kind of long. The United Nations has developed 17 Sustainable Development Goals for 2030. Do you think it will solve some of the social problems by the year 2030?
I certainly hope that we can work together as a society, all united, to work to reach these sustainable goals because these goals were created for a reason, and that is to sustain our society and our humanity. And it's important that everybody in unison works towards reaching these goals.
Okay, and last and final questions. From among the candidates, have you met any of the candidates?
I haven't met any, but I've
Mm,
chatted with them through Instagram.
okay. So apart from you, who do you think is a front runner, like possible to win this year's competition?
I think it's impossible to say because there are 130 of us, the most candidates it's been in a very long time, if ever, and all women are incredible, all beautifully confident, and I think anybody could take home the crown. And I think it's just up to what the judges are looking for. So it's impossible to list out front runners for me.
Okay, do you believe in sash factor? You mean to say, like countries with so many fans, and there are already some countries who are
Mm,
continuously being on the streak of including themselves in the first cut.
mm.
And do you think it's an advantage?
I think it's an advantage to some extent because coming from a Sash Factor country allows for you to have a fandom already once you're crowned.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at Latin American countries or certain some Asian countries, as soon as you win, you already have a fandom behind you. So to that extent, it's an advantage. But I think ultimately the choices are made based on our performance, how we perform at the competition. So in that sense, I don't believe in the sass factor.
Okay. But there are also, on the other side of that, there's also what we call dark horses.
Mhm.
And would you consider yourself as a dark horse?
I would actually, because Finland hasn't placed since 1996, so we've had a very long non-placement streak. So Finland as a country could be considered a dark horse, and I'm very happy to take on that dark horse role. Um, um, I think dark horse winners are always the most exciting winners.
True, because it's not like what they're
It's not
expecting.
expected, yes.
And that's true. Okay, and they you are one of the two blonde Barbies that they're
Mm.
considering for this year, and both Europeans as well. Have you spoken to Miss Denmark or?
We have sent some messages over on Instagram, and she seems like a very lovely person. So I can't wait to meet her. And we're also both from the Nordic countries, both very educated and peaceful countries, both Finland and Norway. So I'm very Denmark, sorry. So I'm very happy to have this global recognition of these two countries at Miss Universe.
If you are going to be given the chance to choose your roommate, would it be Latina, European, Asian?
I think I would love to learn from a completely different culture, as somebody from my roommate would be from a completely different culture, to learn a lot more about this culture. So maybe someone from the Latin Americas would be nice.
Yeah, that's very true because you're gonna be together for a long
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
so you will develop that kind of bond together as a roommate.
definitely.
Yes. Okay. As a brand ambassador of Miss Universe, what is the advocacy that you can offer to the brand?
The advocacy that I can offer is mental health advocacy. Through my project Mind the Future, I have already shared my experiences with mental health struggles that I had as a young adult. And I'm passionate about sharing my story because I want to normalize these themes of mental health, and I want to break stigmas and remove barriers from seeking help. Mental health is still a taboo in a lot of places around the world, and I want to be the person to start these conversation and say that it's okay to talk about your feelings and it's okay to seek for help.
And I think it's a very common issue here
It
in
is,
the northern countries.
unfortunately.
Yes,
Unfortunately.
because do you think the weather has something to do with it?
Well, we have a concept called seasonal depression, so to some extent, yes, it could play a
Yeah, it really
role.
affects your
Mm,
mental health.
yeah.
And lastly, why should you be the next Miss Universe?
I should be the next Miss Universe because I have a story and a skill set that I want to share to the world. Um, I struggled with my mental health in the youth, but I overcame my challenges to stand stronger and more radiant than I've ever been. And I want to share this radiant light with everybody in the universe and to stand as an example that your struggles do not need to define you or what you can achieve in your life. And it's completely possible to build your confidence from scratch and stand confident in front of the entire universe.
Wow, that's very nice. Now we are going to manifest that you will be the next Miss Universe. So what we're
Okay.
going to do is you have to put on your crown, say your name, and shout out to the world that you will be the next Miss Universe.
I am Matilda Virtavori, your next Miss Universe.
Woo! Thank you so much, Matilda, for
Thank
gracing this
you.
interview. And see you in Mexico. Nos vemos
Nos
en
vemos en Mexico.
Mexico.
See you in Mexico.
Bye.
Bye.